What is up? How are we doing out there in the wondrous world of planet Earth? What's happening? We're back. I know I weave in and out of here, but we've weaved in for this time in space. And before we even jump in here, I want to just give us an opportunity to drop into our bodies here. So if you're listening and you have a little time and energy, just take a couple of breaths. Let's do that. Deep inhale, breathing into the belly. And exhale, letting go. Let's do a couple more like that, breathing into the belly. And exhale, feeling into your body here. Deep inhale, feeling into the earth. Exhale, letting go, letting your shoulders drop, releasing your jaw. Just coming back into this time and space, anchoring all your awareness here, now. And just feeling into your body. If you want to close your eyes here, just feeling into your physicality. Just paying attention to what's moving through you now in your physical body. I'm just giving a moment to thank your body. Thank you, body. Thank you for holding me here now. Thank you for being the vehicle of which that carries me through this crazy ass world. If you want to just bring a little gentle movement, maybe shrugging your shoulders up and down, rotating your shoulders back. If you're standing, rotating your hips. Even if you're sitting, moving those hips around a little bit. Just bringing some gentle movement and awareness into this beautiful physical body of yours that holds your light here, that allows you to express that light here. Let's just take one more deep inhale and exhale, and just placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, allowing your heart to open here. And just coming back to that feeling of safety. I am safe. I am here now. Breathing that earth energy up through your root, up through your belly, into your heart, feeling anchored, feeling safe, feeling secure. In this moment, just trusting that all is well. Nothing to figure out right now. All is well. Beautiful. And just shaking it out. How did that feel? Just giving yourself just that 1 to 2 minute check-in there. Just paying attention if anything shifted. Just bringing that awareness back into your presence, back into your body regularly is so fundamental to everything. It's so easy to get out of the body. So weaving these tiny little practices of awareness into your day can really support you in staying grounded, keeping that nervous system balanced, staying in your body. Something I've had to learn to do. But it's been a minute. How are you guys? I'm jazzed to be back on here chatting it up. I'm super stoked. I've got some events coming up. I've got a retreat coming up, Embody Your Higher Self, in a couple of weeks. And I'm just so grateful to be connecting with people in person. That was really my intention. The last 6 months, I really have been putting a lot of time and energy into bringing people together and connecting with people in person. And it's really just been a beautiful, beautiful thing. This last weekend, I co-facilitated a heart expansion experience on the beach in my hometown, which was so freaking cool. I rented these silent disco headphones, so I led a meditation through the headphones on the beach, and then we did some body movement, we danced, and it was just beautiful. a beautiful, beautiful time. I think that, I've said this on my social media, but I really think that these kind of heart-centered gatherings in person, these community gatherings, are so key right now for all of us, just to come back into the heart center, but also to feel that community support with each other, especially with community that's like-minded. I just really think that that's a huge piece that a lot of us could be really leaning into right now. So that's where I'm being called to show up and facilitate more of these gatherings, always with the intention for healing and rebalancing, but also for the intention of just having fun. At least that's been my intention for myself at this point in time. I'm really leaning into play and pleasure and fun and joy, and making that really my number one intention for myself as someone who's a chronic overworker and hustle and grinder. It's been a challenge for me to really lean into that. And these gatherings are, I think I'm stepping, I'm getting one step closer into really leaning into that as a place of work for myself. And I'm even, I think I've talked about this many times, but I'd rather even not use the word work, but just for the sake of understanding, I really want to lean into throwing, like these healing parties and gatherings, and making that where I put my time and energy and my service to the world is really through that container. So having said all that, I'm super stoked on it. I'm really excited. It seems like people are really resonating with these gatherings. I still plan on hosting them in various places. Right now, they've been primarily in California. I've been co-hosting them with a friend, Amy Grill, who facilitates microdosing for clients. So it's been really beautiful for her clients to come into the spaces who are working with plant medicines, to experience more of this embodiment, and really support themselves in that way. So it's been a cool collaboration with her. And even for myself, I know I talked about my dark night of the soul this last year. I used microdosing as a tool, and microdosing plant being a psilocybin. I used that as a tool for about 2.5 months, and I greatly attribute that plant medicine for supporting me in climbing out of a very deep depression and very unnerving time in my life. So plant medicine definitely supported me in that journey back home to myself and really coming back into my heart. Having said that, those plant medicines are not for everyone, so I'm not here to recommend them for everyone. It's really something you've got to choose for yourself and really dive into where your mental health is, the history of your mental health within your family lineage. That's also a very big key, because you're opening up the door in a lot of ways. So having said that, though, they are a beautiful tool and conduit, I believe, to connect with spirit. So that was one of my tools, and that's kind of what I want to go through today, is just to, having come out of that, and now I'm I think about 6 months on the other side of it, I've really come through for myself, or come away with tools that have really supported me over the last 6 months to come back to myself. And I think I'm finally at a point where it's okay, I'm Hannah again. A little bruised, a little battered. Definitely, let's just say it upgraded. That's what we're going to reframe this as. I'm definitely upgraded. But it's been a journey for sure. And I've really had to stay on myself. I'm someone who, my whole life, I have been very fortunate, very lucky to not have had serious bouts of depression, anxiety, mental instability. I've been fairly grounded my whole life. Having said that, as someone who's very much in the astral and connected to spirit, as grounded as I could be. But at least, for most of my life, I had not suffered too much from depression and anxiety, and at least consistently and to the degree that I did. So it was very jarring for myself, and I think it's taken me at least 6 months, and I'm sure I'm still recalibrating here to come back to a place of normalcy for myself, or at least just a sense of balance. So I've really anchored in some practices that I did facilitate and work with in my online program, Embody Your Higher Self. As I had mentioned before, these were really the key takeaways from that dark night, and that program, that group program ended up being so beautiful, and people really resonated with these practices. And I do believe facilitating this in a group setting is just so powerful, because we all kind of feed off of each other and it can grow together, and it's really just a beautiful container, all with the intention of coming back to balance, of coming back home to yourself, of creating that alignment with yourself, with your higher self, and embodying that higher consciousness and that higher version of you. Something that I mentioned is I've been someone my whole life who's been consistently kind of reaching to the other realms, reaching to the higher realms, always curious and interested and fascinated with spirituality and the spiritual realms, yet not fully probably being anchored here in this physical realm. So this has been my biggest intention the last 6 months, is how can I embody this higher awareness that I know I'm connected to? I feel it all around me. I've felt it my whole life. And how can I now use what I've learned and gained by having this connection here in this 3D reality now, especially at these times? You know, the world is changing. There's a lot going on within the collective, and now is the time to really embody the higher awareness and embody the spiritual knowing that you may have garnered over the last couple of years, or maybe you're further along your journey, but now it's not the time to escape and meditate and go away and, you know, just connect to the spiritual realm and you're on your own. Now it's time to really bring that forward. And for me personally, that's bringing this energy forward through the frequency and vibration of joy. And I know for myself, that's my biggest mission here, if you want to use that word, but teach and embody the frequency of joy. And I do believe that's why it's also been one of my biggest challenges, is to really learn that I can grow through joy, I can learn through joy, I can make money through joy. That's another programming that I picked up on, that I can only feel safe, secure, and worthy if I'm working really hard and I'm putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. So reprogramming that for myself has taken years, and I'm still in it. And I think I'm beginning to learn that, you know, it can come through joy, through pleasure, through play. Not to say that you don't have, we need the discipline, right? We still have to take the action. And there's always a balance with that. But I really believe that this is really important for all of us right now. And the flow that I've kind of created, both for the online program of Embody Your Higher Self, but also the retreat that's coming up, and I do plan on continuing to host both of these, for first and foremost for myself, so that I can hold myself accountable, so that I don't go back into what I did the 6 months ago, which was a very dark hole. I'm holding myself accountable in staying in my body, in keeping my nervous system balanced, and doing these steps that I'll go through, so that I know that I'm still of service, and I still am in connection to spirit, and I'm still embodied here. I'm still grounded here on this physical plane. So my very first step, and this is something that I've talked about for years, and it's something that I have felt guided to support people with for years, is balancing the nervous system. That's just first and foremost. If we're in fight or flight, we might as well be animals. We are. You know, if you're in that survival mode, it's very difficult to do anything else. So definitely balancing the nervous system and leaning into the practices that you know will bring you back into that parasympathetic state. And then next is, and these two kind of go hand in hand, is keeping your body grounded, keeping your energy connected to the earth. And with that, having reverence for this planet, having a connection to Mother Earth, Mama Gaia, for supporting us and bringing our awareness, our love, and our attention back to this beautiful planet that has gone through a lot. And I know for myself, as someone who's been, kind of always in the higher realms, I have not had a deep connection and reverence for this planet as much as I could. So I'm really coming back to that connection and relearning what it means to be anchored here, to be grounded here, how much of a gift it is to be here, to walk on this earthly plane, especially to be here at this time and to be able to witness these beautiful collective changes and shifts in consciousness that are happening, but also to support the Mama Gaia to go through that shift as well, and to really anchor love into her. So connecting to the earth, keeping your body grounded here. One thing that I consistently talk about in these programs and work with clients is connecting with nature. What is your relationship with nature? How are you connecting with nature on a regular basis? How are you putting your feet on the ground? And that is just number one. If you can't get your bare feet on the ground, then what are you doing? That's like step one, and that will support balancing your nervous system. So those two kind of go hand in hand. So keeping your body grounded, daily practice of that. And then next, keeping your mind and your heart connected, creating that brain-heart coherence. This is also something that I've consistently talked about, is staying within the heart. When you're connected to the heart, then your truth, your real truth, your true truth can really speak. It can guide you. Your heart is your guide. It's your compass. And when you're truly anchored in the heart, everything else can align for you. It's what the logical mind wants to be in control. The logical mind, the analytical mind, we need it. Beautiful facet of the human body and the human experience here. But staying anchored in the heart is how you embody your spirit and you allow that beautiful universal source energy to flow through you and guide you. So keeping your brain and your heart connected, that can be through intention, that can be through tapping on your heart throughout the day, that can be taking big breaths into your heart. Let's just do that right now. So connecting into your heart space. And as you know, if you've done any of my meditations, I'm always using different visuals and colors to help bring energy into that energy space. So if you want to breathe in a bright emerald green into your heart space here, just breathing that energy in. Feeling your heart expand. If you want to bring your hand to your heart. If you want to tap on your heart. Just breathing into that energy center, allowing that energy center to open. Breathing more light into that energy center. Beautiful. And, when you first start this practice, it might feel like, I don't really feel anything. Or you might become aware of maybe of some heaviness in your heart. So just allowing yourself to really drop into that energy center. Beautiful. So it's simply by bringing awareness to your heart that you start to connect with it. So setting an intention to practice connecting to your heart throughout the day. You could set a reminder on your phone, but it's also doing practices that light your heart up and prioritizing those practices. It's really easy for the ego mind or the logical mind or the analytical mind to slip into, nope, gotta work. I can't do that. I don't have time for that. But again, if you can prioritize in the understanding that this brain-heart coherence is how you find flow, is how you find alignment, is how you connect to your spirit and anchor your spirit here, which will then lead you to your purpose, to your service, to your mission here, then it's easier. It's easier to drop into that knowing, and it's easier to flow, I believe, through this physical realm when you are anchored in that. expanded heart space. And your heart is the strongest energy center in the body. It's got the biggest electromagnetic field. It's a huge power source of energy. So prioritizing the practices that light up your heart, maybe it's dance, maybe it's music, maybe it's playing of any kind. Prioritize that practice. And then that leads me into the next key here is joy, finding alignment with joy. So these two kind of go hand in hand, prioritizing and following your joys, because your joy is not only a key in the sense that it unlocks you to that higher vibration, that higher frequency, and you can interchange any words that you want to change here. It aligns you to a state of being in which you are more connected to your intuition. When you're in that play, when you're in that state of joy, you are free. You're relaxed. Your nervous system is balanced. You're connected. You're likely dropped into the present moment. That is when all the magic happens. That's when you have connection to your own magic. And that is a practice that is very unique to each individual. Again, it could be playing music. It could be dancing. It could be connecting with community. It could be creating art. But it's very important to find what that joy is for you and make it a priority. And again, this is something I've had to work through. I've definitely put my joys at the bottom of the list because maybe they weren't productive, quote unquote, or maybe they weren't going to support me in whatever, making money or surviving here on this planet. But we're flipping the script on this bitch, and we are putting joy at the top of the list now. We don't have a choice on this planet anymore but to live in the state of joy. It is time to bring that energy back because we need it. We've been through too much. We're going through too much. And what the world is moving through right now, we don't need more hard, heavy energy. Yes, we're going to be moving through that, absolutely, as things shift and change, and will continue to. And we have to make a lot of wrongs right collectively and come back to our own personal sovereignty and equality and rewrite injustices. And this is going to be super heavy. But if it's not infused with joy, with love, with play, with pleasure, with community, then it's going to be a more difficult road than it already is. So prioritizing your own joys, follow that, because it's also your compass, right? So if you're following your joys, you're anchored in that heart space. Your joys, if you can't really come to if you're struggling with figuring out what your joys are, come back to your curiosities. What are the things that genuinely you are curious about right now? Even if it's just like a little, that's interesting, follow that. There's something there. There's always something there if you're curious about it. And it might just be picking up one little thing, and then you can drop it and go to the next. So following what genuinely lights you up. And then the next piece of my alignment practice is dropping into the presence. So you can see all these all kind of go hand in hand, but dropping into the now. And that can be through meditation, that can be through mindfulness, that can be through breath work, but dropping into the eternal now, coming back into that presence, which will connect you back into your body. And in that presence, let's say it's in your meditation, when you're really truly anchored into the presence, that is what opens you up to the other dimensions and the other spaces and the other timelines and realities, right? We live within a quantum field. So when you really drop into your presence, you open yourself up to all possibilities. You open yourself up to connect to your intuition. You open yourself up to connect to your own spirit. So really dropping into the presence, into the present now, is really the key to connect you to your higher consciousness. with that intention as well. So when you drop into your presence and you have the intention to connect upward, to connect to source, universe, spirit, your higher self, whatever it is for you, when you have that intention and you're truly anchored in the now, and this really can only happen if you have a nervous system that's balanced, if you're in alignment with your heart, and if you're grounded. If you're in that connection and in that alignment, this is what creates a clear cosmic connection. And this is what I believe eventually with practice unlocks your own gifts and your own purpose. This alignment. So when you have that balanced nervous system, so first attending to the body, because you're in a body. We're here. So first balancing the nervous system. First, making sure that you're physically grounded here on this planet. Thank you, Mama Gaia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Coming back into that reverence and connection to the earth. Then coming back into the heart, opening up that giant energy center. The heart is the portal. Once you open up that heart, you align to that higher vibration of unconditional love. When you open up that energy center, you open up that portal and you drop into the now, into your presence. Then you set the intention to connect up to your higher self, to spirit, universe, source. Now I'm a clear channel for the truth. Now I'm a clear channel for what lights me up. Now I can receive the answers of, what am I here to do? What do I want to be doing here? That's the real question. I'm learning that for myself. I've spent my entire life searching for my purpose. What am I here to do? What am I here to do? Really to just come back to the knowing of, you get to decide what you want to do. What do you actually want to do? What lights you up? That is guiding you towards your purpose. It's the things that genuinely light you up, that you're curious about, that are a joy for you. That's your purpose. At least that's my learning, or at least that's my opinion. We've just made it so much more complicated. We've been conditioned into thinking that it has to be hard, it has to be a grind, it has to be a hustle. And while it might be for some people might find joy in the hustle and in the grind. But I would still argue, do they really feel safe, comfortable, secure, happy, and joyous in that state? But some people really do. So again, this is a practice that's completely unique to you. But these are the pillars that have really supported me in making sure that I stay grounded and connected to my spirit in a way that feels safe and supportive for me and keeps me in alignment with my passion and what I'm really here to do, which is just to have fun. And again, like I said, I'm still learning what that is. I've spent my whole life not allowing myself to have a lot of fun. So I'm still very much playing with this and in this new space for myself. And part of that is creating these in-person gatherings and bringing people together with the intention to play, to have fun, to learn and to grow, of course, and to heal. But, we can also heal and transform through pleasure, through play, through fun. It does, the healing journey doesn't have to always be so hard and dark and strenuous. We've done a lot of that. I can say for myself, did a lot of that, learned a lot, served its purpose. Now I have set the intention for myself. I am ready, spirit, to grow and expand and evolve through the container of joy, through pleasure and play. And I am open to the inspirations and downloads and opportunities and ways in which I can learn, grow, and evolve through joy and through play. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I remain open. And for me personally, a lot of that is just music. It's listening to music. It's connecting also with art. And, I've set the intention to connect with different creators and creatives and artists and musicians. And I still have it on my intention list to meet people at festivals, music and art festivals. hopefully guide some meditations at some music and art festivals. That's still on my manifesting list. I still see it in my mind's eye. So hopefully we'll meet some of you all at some festivals someday. If not, hopefully if y'all want to connect, come to one of these heart expansion experiences or any of the retreats. I'm definitely going to continue to post what's going on with that. But I do have Embody Your Higher Self retreat, which is in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I should figure that out. Oh, yes, 2 weeks from today. So October 20th to the 23rd in San Diego, California. I've rented a house in San Diego, walking distance to the beach. So we're going to be really focusing on all of these practices and clearing any remaining energies, limitations, limiting beliefs that may be limiting or blocking us from coming into alignment and really aligning with the frequency of joy and play and pleasure. So I'm super excited. I've got sound healers coming in. I've got other facilitators coming in that are going to support us in this intention. So I'm super amped. This is my first retreat that I'm hosting, and I'm super psyched on it. I'm really glad that it's all like finally coming together. So if you're interested in that, please just DM me on Instagram or send me an email. I do have payment plans for that. And yeah, I do have day drop-in passes. If you're local and you want to come in just for a day and not the whole 3-day immersive experience, that's also an option. And if you're not local or you can't travel, then just be on the lookout for Embody Your Higher Self, the online program again. I'm probably going to launch that after this retreat. And hopefully I'll just see you again on TikTok or on Instagram. I haven't been very active on there. I've felt not super inspired, to be perfectly honest, just because my energy and my time is going towards these in-person gatherings. So also my bandwidth just isn't totally available for it. But I do feel inspired again. I feel a little spark energy coming back. I just need to, for myself, I'm just saying this out loud, to hold myself accountable, is I am open to receiving inspiration, guidance, and different ways in which I can show up on social media that feels playful, fun, and exciting for me. The ways in which I've showed up on social media previously just feels very flat to me now. So I think that's a lot of the reason why I haven't shown up on there. So I am open to inspirations and having more fun on there and just making it more of a way to connect with you all. So having said all that, now that I'm saying that out loud, I do miss connecting with you all. So I'm sure I'll see you on there again soon. And I think that's it for now. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything that I've said, if you want clarity on anything that I've said, please shoot me an email, a DM, or a comment on this podcast episode if you gained something out of it as well. But I would love to hear your feedback because that helps me know what you all could use support with. I still love showing up on here and offering different tools and tips for people. That's still very much a joy for me. So if there are things that you would like to hear more about, different practices that you would like to step more into or learn more about, just hit me up. I will be coming back on here with different ways to support you with these alignment practices. Today we really just went over kind of the overview of what these practices are, but I will be going deeper into different ways that you can really anchor into these different connections for yourself. So I'm super grateful that I feel aligned to be back on here again. I'm grateful for you all for listening to this. And if you want to work together, I'm still working with people one-on-one. My practice is still open. If you feel called to working together, again, you can just send me an email or book a session through the link in my bio on Instagram and TikTok. I do have some sessions available this month, so just DM me if you have any questions about that. And for all of my services, everything that I offer, I will always be open to working with you financially. So if there are things that you would like to participate in, but it's a little bit of a financial stretch for you, you can always reach out to me. I'm a believer in offering scholarships for people who are in a tough financial space, but I'm also a believer in working with people because I'm a human. I get it. And I think that's also just the way of the world that we're moving now. I think it's important for all of us to really be offering different ways for us to be working together, especially in these types of spaces. Yeah. So anyways, love you guys. Cannot wait to reconnect with you all. And I will see you again. Stay on the lookout for different meditations coming up too on my YouTube. If you don't already follow me there, please do. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, but YouTube is where I have the bulk of my meditations, as well as Spotify and Google Play. So just check those out. Be sure to follow me there. I'll be posting more. But love you, love you, love you. We will chat soon.